Dating, marriage, love, sex. For many Zoomers, it's been there, done that.
I would rather meet someone who's interested in a relationship, honestly.
But for the newly single, dating can be a minefield.
My son, who was only 5 years old, was sitting at the table and I just about choked on my dinner. He goes, "Are you gonna marry my mummy?" And it's like, oh, that's awkward, because we hadn't quite got there yet.
On today's show, dating for keeps. Over 5 million Canadians over the age of 45 are single. Some have never been married, others are divorced or widowed. But for those looking to add love back into their lives, navigating the ever-changing world of dating can be daunting. I wanted to hear about the new reality of dating from the experts. So I brought together a panel of Zoomer singles at the chic Aquafarina restaurant in downtown Vancouver. I started by asking what brought them to the show.
It's just easy to think, oh, well, one of these days I'll make time and I will put some effort in, but in the meantime, I'm just too busy. And then all of a sudden I realized a couple of years has gone by since I was in a relationship. And if you actually don't make an effort, nothing is going to happen.
Forrest, let me ask you this. How did it feel for you when you first became single?
So I became single about 5 years ago. And I remember when I moved out and I had a small place in Kitts, and walking into this small apartment for the first time, and I had a little bit of excitement and a ton of panic.
So do you find it easy to meet people, difficult to meet people?
Been challenging to meet someone. I've been separated for about 3.5 years, and the last couple of years I've been looking to meet someone. And one thing I've worked really hard on is making sure that I'm happy being single, because a relationship alone, that's not going to make you happy.
That's what happens after a long marriage, is you come out of it on the other side and you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Because I haven't been dating. And I mean, are you in a rush to get back into dating? Are you available to date?
I'm not in a rush, but I also hear what Marie is saying, that time is not on my side. And so I feel like I want to be out there. I want to be in some level of a relationship, probably not looking for the long-term thing yet. But there's also a part of me that goes, if I ended up dating someone, it would be really weird to kiss him. Like, that is intimidating.
Is it successful online dating? Have you tried it?
It's been mixed, but oftentimes when you meet the person, they are quite different than the person that they appear to be online.
With the interjection of the online world in dating, it really has confused everybody. It's given a false sense of, wow, there's so many out there. When you go on a bad date, it doesn't feel good, and it pushes you backwards. So do you really want to go on a whole bunch of bad dates? No, not really.
Jane may be single, but she knows a thing or two about dating. For years, she's been a go-to person for singles as a matchmaker for hire. I decided to visit her at her office and see how she got into the business.
20 years ago, when I started matchmaking, there really was no internet dating at the time. At that point, then you needed to know someone or meet through a friend. But that's where I can come in as an advocate to singles and help them understand what is possible or not possible. And I work with a lot of savvy professional people who, you know, they see the value in someone cutting through the noise.
Yeah, I would say that because you audition everyone.
Well,
basically,
I
right?
have the first date with everybody.
Oh.
That's the way I like to look at it. You know, I get all the time, oh God, you know, because I turned 64 this year, and it's like, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, well, when the phone stops ringing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. When nobody needs me anymore. Well, I think kids are really protective of their parents. You know, getting back on the dating scene, and they're a little jealous of it, or they don't really like it that much. The bottom line of it, they really do want you to be with someone. They don't want you to be alone.
I've convened a panel of older singles to learn all about Zoomer dating. But when you've already established your life, dating can present some extra challenges. You know, Marie, you've been alone a while now, right?
Oh, it's been over a decade since my husband passed away, and in that time I have dated other men, but there were long gaps in between because I'm busy raising my children, and that's not always easy. And I remember saying to somebody at one point at the end of a relationship, he was a lovely man and we got on great, but I said to this person, there weren't 2 of us in this relationship, there were 5. And I had to keep that in mind. So there are a lot more things to consider versus just, are he and I compatible?
I went on a coffee date yesterday, and as I came back to my house and walked up the back stairs, I thought, do I really want to share my time with anyone other than my children right now? They're going through the split as well. Do I just want to be available to them, or do I want to slice off part of my time for someone else?
Now, who else has kids here? Okay, everybody. You too, Jane, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about kids and blended families, your dating life. How do the children affect your potential relationships?
Both of my kids are young adults and they've got their own lives, and it was difficult the first couple of years when my wife and I separated, but they both have moved forward and we're close and we spend Christmas together. And but yeah, putting a relationship together with kids and blended families and making it work, especially with young kids, can be challenging.
I have a neighbor whose husband separated from her, leaving her, and she started seeing someone else. And my son, who was 10 at the time, immediately did not like the man. And I said, well, he's a nice guy, what's the problem? He said, he's trying to replace her husband. And I said, well, it's not a replacement, it's just, you know, moving on, a different person. And his response was, is he sleeping in her bed? And I said, probably. He's like, I rest my case.
From a 10-year-old, that's great.
From a 10-year-old, yeah.
Zoomers get divorced more than any other generation. And some think it's something to celebrate, not to be ashamed of. Z News videographer Darren Maharaj has more.
Well, here at the Thompson Hotel, dozens of divorcees have made their way here for what's being called an elite divorce party, an event that not only educates but celebrates their newfound status.
In this day and age, 50% of Canadians relationships and marriages are ending in divorce. So why not throw a party to celebrate that part of their life?
If I ever am going to get married, I'm going to get my wedding ring from Winners.
Tonight we've got some speakers, we've got a panelist, we've just had a comedian that did a whole shtick on being in a relationship or lack thereof, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We've got some booths so people can shop while they're here, lots of raffles. We're giving money to CAMH, a very deserving cause.
She helps men and women through the entire spectrum of breakups, divorces, including the breakup recovery, initiating breakups, how to get your exes back.
There's something here for everyone because we're here to educate people. We've got mediators, we've got Bold Consulting, Diane Horseman, she's amazing.
Focus on the gaps in potential outcomes, not positions.
So I think to create this outlet where there's different panelists with different perspectives and different expertise can bring together a community for people who are actually like going through something.
What are the 3 best things you want in a guy?
Humor, youth, honesty. Just looking for Mr. Right, not Mr. Right Now.
I'm making a love connection right now.
Today's an amazing day. I came here, this woman's gorgeous.
He's very outgoing. He's extremely, well, he's handsome, he's sexy.
So would it be like really awkward if I got you guys to give each other a smooch? Whoa! Look at that! In Toronto at the Thompson Hotel, I'm Darren Maharaj for Zoomer News.
I think the passion was jumping right out of the screen, maybe a little bit too much. After all, we may be getting older, but sex still matters.
The last guy I had coffee with said, you know, I'm 66 and that sort of dies off. I'm like, I want someone who's interested in sex. I'm going to put it right out there.
We're back at Aquafarina with my panel of Zoomer singles. I want to find out, how do you find the right person? What's your ideal woman? What do men want?
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, it's personal, right?
Fit, fun, financially stable, and physically attractive.
Yeah, and age range, what's ideal for you?
Somewhere within my age. I'm a fairly active guy, so I've found that I find more matches with people who are younger, because people my age and slightly older, they're not interested in the activities that I do there.
Allan seems like a man that would be hard to keep up with. He's an avid outdoorsman and for 40 years has volunteered with the North Shore Rescue. We went on a hike to find out what he's looking for in a partner.
Hi, Mark.
I like that.
Well, here, why don't I give you that
No,
one.
I couldn't.
You take that one. I have lots.
Do you?
You put that in your pack.
Oh, look, and it's for two.
Yes. We can snuggle in together.
Thank you, Allan. That's a great gift. It makes sense that you would like a partner in your life that likes to be outdoor. I mean, you are a leader in North Shore Rescue. That's a big part of your life.
Yes, it has been. For 43 years, it's been a big part of my life. Right now, I'm one of the search managers with the team. We have a small group of people who will organize and run searches when we're asked to go get somebody up in the mountains. When I was younger, of course, I was the one carrying the heavy packs and getting out into the woods and finding the people and flying in the helicopters and doing all of that. I know I have faults, and some people can put up with them and some can't, but and that's why I'm still single. It's been a process for me, learning how to date and getting through the grief of losing my partner. So I've learned a lot in my dating time. But yes, I'm an active person. I want somebody who is active and enjoys this kind of stuff.
But you can't be dating a couch potato. That'll never work.
No. So that's definitely, and you know, you get a few qualities that you know you're looking for, but then you look at kind of a scale from 1 to 10 for each quality, and then do a total sum at the end. People have asked me, what are my deal breakers? What are my absolutes?
Deal breakers.
And I say I have none.
Dishonesty for me is a deal breaker. Now, dishonesty is sometimes hard to spot, especially if you're good at being dishonest, but honesty is key.
And I guess the bottom line is, can you kiss each other? I mean, are you attracted?
The difference between someone that's looking to commit and be with someone, as opposed to, I just want to date and I'm older now, I just want to play around. What do you think?
I've got lots of people I can go out and have drinks and dinner with, and I would rather meet someone who's interested in a relationship, honestly. Chronic dating or right now is not important to me.
Well, so I'm in a place of just coming out of a 17-year relationship. Do I want another 17-year relationship tomorrow? No, I don't.
Yeah, it's better to hear that from in person than read it, because you're right, someone will just...
Yeah, they'll go right
and
past
you
it
never
saying,
know if it
okay,
is going to be.
you're just interested in casual dating.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just setting yourself up for booty calls.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure that's a bad thing.
Again, thank you.
And the thing is, we are allowed to want whatever it is that we want.
Yeah, right.
There's no right and there's no wrong. But what is it that we want?
I want someone who's interested in sex. I'm going to put it right out there, because the last guy I had coffee with said, you know, I'm 66 and that sort of dies off.
That's the 4th F in my 4 Fs. Fit, fun, financially stable, and physically attractive. Yeah. Well, you could put an F in there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether this is it.
Well, let's talk about intimacy, and not just what goes on behind closed doors, but human touch,
Yeah.
hugging, holding hands, you know, watching a movie, snuggling on the couch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something, especially during COVID, that we've all missed.
And I think for all of us, we've been so, at this stage of our lives, we all come with a full life. Most of us do, right? You're looking for the person that you can do everything else with. And intimacy, whether it's physical or emotional, that's the part that's
missing. And they
missing.
are connected, for sure.
Yeah.
We're almost done with the show, but we can't leave without our regular feature with Chef Julian Bond. He's back in the kitchen showing us healthy, affordable, and Zoomer-friendly recipes.
I guarantee you, never get shell in your food again. You're going to crush it. Hold it with 3 fingers and open up. I can shake this as much as I want. None of those shells are ever going to come off. Hi, I'm Chef Julian Bond. Come with me while I show you a few shopping hacks to save some money. Eggs! So many! There's like 15 varieties here. Which one do I pick? It's quite easy. It's a no-brainer. It's the medium-sized egg. And I know you're thinking, I want the large and the extra large. This is from a juvenile chicken. So you're gonna have a fresher, better quality, tighter egg, a little bit more nutritious. They're also the cheapest in the cabinet too. You can do so many things with it. For me, they're gonna make a fantastic frittata. I can't wait. We're gonna do what I call the fridge leftover frittata. First ingredient is our lovely medium eggs. Now, I guarantee you, never get shell in your food again. You're going to crush it. Hold it with 3 fingers and open up. I can shake this as much as I want. None of those shells are ever gonna come off. Whisking is essential. Now you can use a whisk, but the trick is, you're gonna put some time into this. So they come in homogenized. That's the secret to a really good frittata. Gorgeous, unison color throughout your entire eggs. Unsalted butter. And then I'm gonna add some of my vegetables. So, this is butternut squash. Peas. Haricot vert. Or green beans. Spinach. I'm going to use all my spinach because I just absolutely love it. Some parsley. Basil. And those are basil leaves. That's okay. Stir a little bit more. Here's my egg mixture. I just take a little tiny bit of milk. Not a lot. Just a little bit. A little bit of salt now, just a little bit. A little bit of pepper. Going to add my 2 cheeses, my cheddar. The Parmesan should grate beautifully. Yeah, look at that. And then tomatoes last. Put those in there. And let it bake in the oven about 20-25 minutes. Oh my goodness me, that's amazing. Let's serve that up.
Our Zoomer panel has covered everything from dating to blended families to sex. But what about the big one, marriage? So let's say 6 months to a year from now, you're like, wow, this is amazing. This woman's like totally right, or this guy's totally right. Do you marry or do you just cohabit?
You sure don't marry. No.
Not marrying? Not interested right now?
No. No.
Both. It really depends on the relationship and what the woman would want. But yeah, I would be open to that.
Yeah. What about you, Allan? Would you marry again?
Definitely.
That's a very strong yes.
Well,
that's good. That's good.
I
know
think
what you
it's marrying is standing up in front of your friends and your family and committing yourself to a relationship with another person. And you've publicly committed yourself. That's tougher to break when you've said that in front of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Marie, would you marry again?
I think so. You know, my marriage didn't last very long because my husband died. My children were only toddlers.
Yeah, tragic.
And so at that time, when I was finally ready to start dating, I was looking for somebody who would also take on my children and be a father. That's no longer my situation. So now I'm looking at it as somebody for me.
I think if I go in with a preconceived idea right from the get-go that I'm going to get married or not, I'm going to be cutting off a whole bunch of possibilities at a place when cutting them off is not a good idea, because it's hard to find. It's easy to get the date, it's easy to get the coffee date we're doing. It's not easy to find the right person.
When I was thinking about this morning before I came here, I thought, well, I have a full life and I'm looking for somebody who has a full life also. Well, You can't put two full lives together, it'll overflow. There's going to be some things that you do together and some things you have to give up.
But it's one of the differences, I think, from when you're younger. You know, you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're still starting out. Your life isn't so full of every other thing, children, aging parents, and careers. I think that when you're, especially in your 20s, you're building your life together. So, of course, you have a lot more interests and things. You're drawn together for those reasons. Whereas now, at this stage of my life, I'm drawn to the person who's going to make me laugh, who is going to challenge me and I'm going to have fun with. And I couldn't care less. If he wants to go to the hockey game, have fun. I don't want to spend 24 hours a day with you anyhow.
Yes.
I don't have, you know, that's not what is important to me at this stage. So I'm not looking for the man who's going to be everything to me, whereas I think my younger self wanted a lot more of that and had a lot more expectation of the man filling all those, like my partner filling all those other roles.
I have had a great experience with you. And I think it's really interesting to have an in-depth conversation with all kinds of different people about being single and what we want and what we don't want. And so I want to close this with one thing. Do you want to take bets on who's going to be the first person married at this table? I say.
I say Kelly.
You think
Oh!
Yeah. It'll be the total opposite.
The one that says no, 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 no?
Yeah. You never know. Never say never.
Okay, I'll be the bookie.
You be the bookie.
And that's the show. Remember, as our CARPe chairman, Moses Neimer, always says, the best way to keep going is to keep going. So Carpe Diem and seize your day.